welcome back, everybody. Episode 34 of Drop the Green. So, as always, we will dedicate this episode to somebody. This week's overview we're going to do on Teresa Earnhardt.
Yes,
she's in the news. She won't leave us alone. So I figured we'd talk about her. We'll recap Vegas, talk about who stood out. We'll get into some Homestead Predictions, get into some Drop the Green bets. Hopefully, we can make a little bit of money this time, and then we'll close with the Choose Who Zone. Maybe some surprises along the way. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But as always, my name is Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
It's been a long time gone since the truth's been told, and I've seen my head cut us low. Come on, save my soul with a bar guitar and a honky tonk.
All right, Spence, we are back in it.
Hold on. I want to do one thing real quick before you get going. This is your first surprise of the night. I'm making up for last week. I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but we're going back for more. You know, because I couldn't do the last one.
Right. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
Okay.
It's only fair.
Hopefully this one doesn't send you over the edge.
Hopefully not. You know, I've never done two in a row.
Fingers crossed. All right, and that's for 33.
Yep.
Because you had 33 for about 30 seconds, and then you gave it.
I did, and I couldn't handle it. Yeah, I gave it right back.
All right, I like that a lot. Any more surprises before we jump in here?
Not yet, but there's more to come. Yeah.
Perfect. I can't wait. So, episode 34. I don't know if we got any pictures or anything.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you, but
I do have. I have Michael McDowell's picture. I don't have David
You can
Ragan's.
pretty much do David Ragan's because it was as the same picture because it was the same car.
Okay.
So I'll just start off with David Ragan. So December 24th, 1985, in, I don't know how to say it, Unadilla or Unadilla, Georgia?
Unadilla.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no clue. So we're going to pretend one of those is right.
Okay.
But he comes from a racing family, and then his family's also, I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't know if they have if they own Legends car. They do something with Legend cars, whether they build them or they sanction it, something involved over there. But that's kind of, his dad was a racer, got into that. So he was a Bandolero Legends cars, phenom.
Okay.
Won 1 million races, championships, and all that. So he went straight from that, signed a Roush contract. Those are notorious for lifelong, you sign a Roush contract.
You're stuck forever.
You sign your life away, basically. Yeah. So he was in Roush trucks and Xfinity cars starting in 2004. He gets a chance to go full-time cup racing in 2007.
Dang.
So 1985, what does that make him, 22 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, 22, young. Yeah, especially back then. I mean, it's not like it is today.
Yeah.
So pretty young. Goes into the Roush 6 car. I feel like we talk about this every time. Roush was
up and down.
Up and down, up and down. This is when it started going down. So he did finish in 2008 13th in points, which I thought was pretty impressive. Now, remember, this is no format. No format. We had the chase format, but no winning you're in, which kind of sucks because in 2011, he wins the Daytona Spring Race, or the 4th of July race.
Yeah,
back then.
so the Coca-Cola 400 or whatever it is.
Yeah, Coke Zero, whatever.
Yeah,
it used to be the Pepsi, whatever they were calling it back then. So he ends up winning that race. Still finished 23rd or 25th.
Dang, that's so nuts to think about.
But probably how it should be if you run like shit. The rest
Crazy.
Of it. Yeah.
Harrison Burton.
So that's where he got his first win. 2011, towards the end of 2011, Roush is struggling. They're losing sponsorship. They just decided to close that whole team down.
Wow.
So he's out of a ride. And I mean, keep in mind, sometime we just need to do a Roush overview because it's nuts. I mean, at one time they had 5 cars, and then they got down to 2. That they're still at now. Possibly 3. We'll see how this whole charter thing goes. But yeah, so they shut it down. He's kind of looking for a job. So he ends up at Front Row Motorsports. So same car as Michael McDowell here. So from let's see if I got my years here. 2012 to 2014, he's in the 34 FRM car, owned by Bob Jenkins. So he's got the Love sponsorships, the Long John Silvers, all that. He actually in 2013 ends up getting a win at Talladega 1 year before the format, right? So he didn't make the playoffs, but he got their first win for Front Row Motorsports.
That's awesome.
David Ragan did.
That's awesome.
When I was looking at 34, when I think of 34, I think of Landon Castle.
Yeah.
And then I looked back at it. he only ran that car for a year, which is weird to me. I
Weird.
remember Landon Castle being in this car. It was only 1 year, so I was like, okay, well, I remember David Ragan got a win. I looked it up. I didn't realize that was their first ever win.
Wow.
So I think that's pretty important. You know, it's an organization like that, a first win kind of
Huge.
catapults you into more success. So it's almost like David Ragan crawled so Michael McDowell could walk. Yeah. That's how I'm going to pitch it, at least. But so he starts the 2015 season with Front Row Motorsports. He runs Daytona. If you'll remember back then, you might not remember, a little bit before you were watching, that's when Kyle Busch had his wreck in an Xfinity race at Daytona. The day before the Daytona 500, breaks both his legs.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I don't remember watching that, but I've seen that race. I've seen that story.
Yeah. So they contact David Ragan. They say, hey, we know you just started with Front Row Motorsports. You started the year off with them. We'd rather you come run the 18 for 9 races. So he somehow gets out, and I didn't look into it too much, but leaves Front Row after the Daytona 500 and runs 9 races in the 18 car.
Oh my gosh!
So kind of random, you can go find 9 races with that 18 M&M's car, and it says Ragan on top of it.
Dude, yeah.
So kind of a little weird thing there. So from there, he did those 9 races, ends up going to Michael Waltrip Racing. Then he goes to BK Racing. We all know BK Racing is just dog water.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely terrible. Ends up back at Front Row Motorsports for 3 more years in the 36 car.
Okay.
Last full-time season was 2019, and then he did some part-time stuff for Rick Ware, super speedway only, because as you can tell, this guy's a super speedway phenom.
Yeah, yeah.
And then his last race, I don't know if you remember this or not, he ran the 2024 Daytona 500 for RFK in the 60 car.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll bring that 60 car back, so that's his last race. And then he did the, NASCAR made that electric car.
Yeah, yeah.
And they tested it, and he was the one that drove it.
That's cool.
So, which, I don't know how you feel about that, but it was...
honestly, someone else should have probably done it, but good on NASCAR, I guess. I don't know.
It was pretty cool. He's a pretty soft-spoken guy. He's done the race hub stuff. He's been in the media. They interviewed him after that electric test, and he's like, man, I'm just telling you the thing was fast. And in the test, I don't know if you watched it, they did like a 4-wheel burnout.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
crazy.
It's fast. I don't want that for the Cup Series. And he said the same thing. He was like, this is an opportunity there. He's speaking on their behalf, right? He's like, this is an opportunity they're looking at, maybe a separate series. He's like, but if you want horsepower,
that's it.
That's it. It's not going to sound good.
No.
But yeah, so that's him. I just kind of I figured that'd be a good segue. Yeah. Into Michael McDowell with him getting their first win. But tell me a little bit about
Michael McDowell from Phoenix, Arizona. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know he was a West guy. But he started racing open wheel cars at a very early age. Then in 2006, he started racing raced ARCA a little bit. And then in 2007, he made his Truck Series debut with the number 17 of Darrell Waltrip Motorsports. Ran that car, nothing good out of that car. Same year, 2007, he ran the Xfinity Series for Michael Waltrip Racing in the 00. 2008, the very next year, he got a Cup ride in the 00, also I think for Michael Waltrip Racing, but he was pulled from that a couple times. So I guess not performing, or other veteran guys. I know one time he was pulled for Slaughter, maybe. No. Jimmy. I want to say Jimmy Spencer. Does that sound right? I didn't write it down.
When he was with Michael Waltrip Racing, he got
in the 00 in the Cup Series.
Was it David Rudiman?
Rudiman, maybe. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I didn't write it down, so now I butchered it. Now it looks stupid. Yeah. Normal.
You said Slaughter. I was like,
I know. It's something with an S. It's something with an S. It's something with an S, but it's not Jimmy Spencer.
That's all right.
Okay, sorry.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up later.
Did you look up, real quick, when he was racing for Michael Waltrip Racing, he's got one of the most iconic wrecks.
Yes, yeah. His
at Texas.
Yes.
In qualifying.
I know, and from what I read, they that was when it was the Speed Channel. Mm-hmm. So it was NASCAR Speed or ESPN Speed. It was Speed Channel. And they said he broke a turn... can't think of the name now. A control arm.
Okay.
He broke a control arm, and he went from 185 miles to 0 in like a foot and a half.
Yeah, nuts.
That's insane.
Yeah. And did you see a pic?
Oh yeah, the car.
I don't know how he's alive.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's alive.
I mean, not just alive, like practically walked away from it.
Yeah. And
I mean, he didn't walk away, but he could have.
But that's back when, qualifying was intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
you ran
you went to a mile and a half, and they taped those cars off, lowered them to the ground. You ran wide open.
Yeah.
And so you don't do that in the race, but in qualifying you did.
Dude.
And it's like one little thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
You're done.
And it wasn't even him like stepping over the bounds of the car.
No.
It was
the car.
Yeah, the car just gave out on him.
Yeah.
Crazy that he's alive. And we've seen that countless times, honestly, with guys like this. Like Newman did the same thing. Like, how is that dude alive?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But 2008, he did that. 2009, he got part-time with JTG Doherty Racing. Raced for them. 2010, Prism Motorsports and Whitney Motorsports raced for them. 2011, he signed with HP Racing, raced for them a whole year, and one race, I think Kyle Busch got disqualified because of a Xfinity incident in 2011.
I think that's when he wrecked Ron Hornaday in the truck race, and they parked him for the whole weekend.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so he picked up that ride at Texas.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So both of our guys in the 34
both
have
raced for
the 18.
I know.
That's weird.
It's really weird.
It's really weird.
I wonder if Front Row does something with JRG. I mean, or JGR. Sorry.
Weird. It's weird.
It's really weird. 2011, Phil Parsons Racing, and he got his first top 10 at Daytona that year in the number 98. Finished 9th. And then from 2014 to pretty much 2016, it was kind of weird. 2014, 2015 was said Levine Family Racing.
In 95.
Yeah, in the 95. Yeah. But then in 2016, it says Circle Sport, but it's still... And then after Circle Sport, it said Levine Family Racing. So...
It might have been an investor or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. It was just weird. I had not seen that. And so he did that from 2016, 2017, and then in 2018, he got that same ride, I guess, after David Ragan left. Kind of.
Yeah, that would have been, around that time.
Yeah.
And then, which I think Landon Castle was in there in between.
In between that time, like a year
I know he left Levine. That's when Matt DiBenedetto came in.
Yeah.
And then Matt DiBenedetto got fired. They put Seabell.
Yeah.
And JGR more or less put Levine out of business.
Yes.
Like they did Furniture Row, and then that became 2311.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's weird.
They're really good at that.
They're so good at that.
Yeah. They kind of want to be the only premier Toyota dealer.
They're like hired for murder by NASCAR.
Exactly. I mean, he's got a kind of smart business plan because, if you don't let another team in that has the same engine supplier as you, you're probably more likely to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So 2018 to present now, he's running for Front Row Motorsports in the number 34. He's gotten 2 wins in that car, I believe, at Indy Road Course and the Daytona 500. Yeah. He's a Daytona 500 winner. That's all I can say about him. I mean, he's a great super speedway guy. He's I've talked about it on this show. He's a great road course guy, but he always has malfunctions with the car, manufacturer issues all the time, mechanical issues every single time that he has a good shot to win. He was good at winning poles at all those, at super speedways and at road courses somehow, but he doesn't like to win races.
No, but it'll be interesting because we know he's going to Spire next year.
Yes.
When they made that announcement, let's put ourselves back when he made that announcement. We're like, well, FRM is probably going to get tier 1 support. And why would you go to Spire?
Yep.
We know now there's all these rumblings that Spire is going to be basically a Hendrick satellite team.
Yes. Kind
of like SHR was when they first started. So I would imagine Michael knew that going in. Spire pays well.
Yeah.
But he's been the backbone of Furniture Row, and I've listened to interviews with him. Like when they changed crew chiefs, he goes and interviews the crew chief because he wants it to be right for him. All the data and things that, if you're at Hendrick, you show up, you get a notebook or something. It's like,
yes,
here's all the data from the previous race, SMT, all that. Michael pulls that himself.
Wow.
And looks at it himself. I mean, he's just hardworking dude. So my hope is, he's a little bit older. I'm hoping he's
39.
I'm hoping he's not past his prime.
We said this is kind of the prime.
That's the statistic age, the statistic peak. So hopefully, I'm hoping he doesn't go to Spire and have that learning curve of new team. He's been 34 for a while. He could knock it out of the park. I mean, I'm not saying SVG level on road courses, but there's no reason why he shouldn't be up there.
He will now have, not that front row is not, I definitely think Spire is a higher level team right now. I mean, we've seen it pretty much everywhere with Carson and Zane and even Justin Haley now a little bit.
This past week.
Exactly.
Until strategy got in there, the Spire cars are obviously fast, so it'll be interesting to say. But
will be.
The last thing I want to say, so we both picked 34 Front Row Motorsports guys. We know FRM's with 2311 in that lawsuit, so best of luck to him. The owner,
we're cheering for you.
We're cheering for him, not only because of that, but the owner, Bob Jenkins, resident of Dandridge, Tennessee.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Right down the road from us. So always got to pull for the FRM cars. And I just don't think it's so bold to call your team Front Row Motorsports.
Yeah, when you never are in the front row.
I mean, like, who does that?
I know, it's cool, though.
It's cool. Yeah. It's cocky.
It is.
But I like it. So, all right, episode 34, the David Ragan, Michael McDowell /FRM episode. Let's get into our overview. So you texted me about this.
I want to preface this with the big news that came out of NASCAR this week, and I hate that we couldn't do an episode on Wednesday about this, so I do apologize for being behind, but they got the trademark to the number 8.
The font.
The font.
Just the font.
I know, which is...
That's the weird world.
Dude, it's so crazy. And I know that's in everything that we do, not just our sport.
It's IP, right?
Exactly. But Dale Jr. got the font for the number 8 car, the Budweiser car. So now he's in a partnership with Budweiser because he got the font. And I guess he's going to run that in Xfinity?
No, he's going to run it in the Cars Tour.
The Cars Tour. Okay, so he's going to run in the Cars Tour.
Late models.
Okay. I didn't know if he was running with his Xfinity team.
So he's more or less said, I don't know if he'll stick to this, but he's more or less said Bristol was his last Xfinity race.
Really?
That's what he said.
You know what's so funny is he was talking about with Kevin. It was like, dude, we need to get you in a Bristol race. Yeah. Like, because in the way he made it sound was like, I want to do it like every other year. Or I think it was Kevin talking about it when he had talks with Junior kind of off air or not recorded, and he was saying that Junior will put him in a car. If you want to race it, every other year, every year you'll race it at Bristol. That's so wild that he doesn't want to do that again.
I mean, you got to think he's 50 years old.
He is 50.
He's going back into broadcasting, and we know with him on that Amazon deal, I would imagine that they're giving him a lot of creative control.
I think so. They should. We've talked about that.
They should. Yeah. So I'm sure he wants to focus on that. They put out 3 podcasts a week.
Yes.
And I think at one time, maybe he just did that whole media stuff for the fans.
Yeah.
But they're building a company around it. I mean, they really are. And as we know, just 1-2 hour show a week takes time.
It does. It's tough, man.
It's tough. Just in the preparation, not to mention the producing and all that. Yeah. So, I mean,
it's everything. And granted,
and if you want to do it right.
Yeah, if you want to do it right, we try to put out a good product. I know they put out a great product. I love listening to their show.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of help with him. I'll say that. We're just 2 of us, but very jealous of what's going on. But it is a fun thing that they do, and I'm excited to see. So roll into how this plays into Teresa Earnhardt.
Back to Teresa, and if you'll do me a favor while I'll bring him up to speed. If you'll bring up that car he's going to run.
Yeah.
So Teresa Earnhardt, obviously, she was the 3rd wife of Dale Earnhardt. We don't have to get into Dale's habits and patterns, but he was always focused on his career, maybe at the expense of his personal relationships and even his kids. So he meets Teresa. Teresa was a daughter of a racer. She's always been in the business, has I believe it's a marketing degree or some kind of business motorsports degree. So it was kind of a perfect fit. And if you look back at Dale and the way he marketed himself, the merchandising, how he had ownership of his name and all that, a lot of that came from Teresa.
Okay.
So a lot of the commercial success, whether people like it or not or care to admit it, came from Teresa. Now, Dale started, DEI, And a lot of that was for his family, right? So they have something to own. Really, and then once Dale Jr. got into it, it was, okay, this is going to be Dale Jr.'s thing eventually. Tragically, we lose Dale Earnhardt in 2001. That's just his cup car.
I know, but it's the same one. I couldn't find the.
You're not looking hard enough.
Okay, let me look. Let me keep looking. Then I found the first one.
So we lose Dale in 01. Everything goes to Teresa, right?
Okay.
And here's where the whole, her nickname is the Wicked Witch of the South, right? So this is where this starts to happen. Keep in mind, Teresa just lost her husband, right?
Yes.
You have to give respect to that she's going through it just as much as anybody else that knew Dale. So now she's in charge of running this team. Well, I've never had a step parent, but I can imagine there's always friction.
Yes.
With having a step parent. So her and Junior don't necessarily get along. There's problems in the organization. Teresa's absent. Dale wants more money. At some point, Teresa said, we don't need you. This doesn't have to be, if you want to leave, just leave. DEI doesn't need Dale Jr., which is an insane thing to say. That's in hindsight.
It's wild.
So, long story short, this is where
that's so bad. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's good enough.
Is it good enough? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
It's what I was looking for. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay. Because the only reason I wanted you to pull this up, and you can leave the other picture up too if you still have it.
Yeah,
because there is something I want to point out. So Teresa owns everything that's DEI. All those rights, all that intellectual property comes to her. So Junior leaves.
You rather I know this one's way more clear.
That's fine. Yeah, just leave that up there, and then I'll show.
Because honestly, they only got the font.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you one other thing that's important.
Okay.
So Junior leaves. Everybody hates Teresa, right?
Yes.
Because they're like, she causes friction. This was supposed to be Junior's team. When he leaves, he can't take anything. He can't take the number 8.
Yeah.
Because they own that number. He can't take the font. He ends up not taking Budweiser, not because of her, just whatever reason. One thing I remember from this time, so Texas Motor Speedway used to, and this is when I was still living in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put up these billboards, and it was like reasons to come to Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And it would say reason number 20, and it'd have Tony Stewart and say road rage.
Oh, okay.
Reason number 48, twice as good as 24. It'd be Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of provocative billboards. So they put one up, reason number 88, stepmother.
Oh!
Which is insane. You know what I mean? Because he went to the 88.
Yeah.
After the 8, reason stepmother. They're just trying to.
Oh, they're starting everything.
They're starting the pot. So they ended up asking them to take that down. Yada, yada, yada. There's still all these disputes.
DI asked him to take it down.
No, actually, Kelly and Dale.
Really?
Yeah, they asked him. They're like, no need to bring that up. And Dale's never really talked bad about her recently. Back in the day, there was, tiffs in the media and things like that. But, people just don't like her because she owns all these things. She more or less destroyed DEI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was probably ever qualified to run a cup team, but also that wasn't really the plan. No one knew we were going to lose Dale out of nowhere, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to sound like an apologist this whole time, but
that's fine.
I think there's two sides to every story. So we get into something else weird. So Dale Earnhardt owns this shop.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, called the Deerhead shop. That's where Junior's Xfinity car was, his late model stuff. So there's all these pieces of property, all this stuff that Dale Jr. has that Teresa will not allow them to come get their stuff. That's how bad the relationship is. So there's.
Why does she hate him so much?
Who knows? Right? Once again, there was, Dale Jr.'s in his early mid 20s. That's his stepmom.
Yeah.
Her husband died. His dad died. They're at odds. So much bad blood there, right?
Yeah.
And this is 20 years ago.
Yes.
Over 20 years ago. So we go from there. In 2016, just another reason why people hate her, Carrie Earnhardt, which we know is Dale's oldest son,
mm-hmm.
Junior's half-brother, tries to start a housing company called the Earnhardt Collection.
Yeah.
She sues him. You can't use that name.
It's his last name.
So that's what a lot of people said. Did you know that Carrie Earnhardt never met Dale Earnhardt until he was 17 years old? And didn't even. His last name wasn't even Earnhardt.
Was he put up for adoption?
And he wasn't put up for adoption. His mother remarried shortly after they had him.
Like, he was born, though.
He was born.
She
they
remarried.
Were together.
Yeah.
They remarried. Dale was never a part of Carrie's life. Carrie went by his stepdad's last name. Never knew his dad. Never had any.
And then his mom finally told him.
And then he found out. It's kind of a long story. He's like 17 years old. He finds out Dale Earnhardt's his dad. Meets Dale. Kind of too late to raise the guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Carrie changes his last name to Earnhardt.
Okay. It is sketchy.
Weird.
It is weird. I'm with you, but that's his son. Like,
that's his son.
Wrong, right, or indifferent how the marriage should have played out.
Right.
That's his son. I blame Carrie from the beginning on that of not telling him who it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to me, his last name should be Earnhardt from the very beginning.
He wasn't raised by Dale.
I understand he's not raised by him.
So I think it's a little odd. You're not raised by him. Of course, it's your real dad. There's a lot of psychology in this, right? But
yes, we're not psychologists.
I just think it's very weird to, I just found out Dale Earnhardt's my dad. Let me change my name to Earnhardt.
No, I'm with you.
Every door just opened.
Yes.
Right, for everything. So I think that's where she came from. He called it the Earnhardt Collection. After she sued, it ended up just being changed to Earnhardt Collection. And my opinion on that is she saw it as the Earnhardt Collection, trying to say, okay, we're all in the, it's a Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr., all the Earnhardts, which is going to drive business, right?
That makes sense.
That's what I think. So anyway, you can imagine how that went over.
Yeah, she won.
Fans. She won, but she also looked like an absolute asshole.
Yes.
Completely. So we'll get into why we're talking about this. So she holds all the trademarks, whether it's the 3, the 8, even the font on the 1. When she went into partnership with Ganassi, right, it was Earnhardt Ganassi.
Yeah.
And they had the font for the 1. When she got out, they had to change the font of the 1.
Wow.
Because she owns that font.
She's so smart.
Very smart, right?
I mean, I'm not saying that she's a good person, but good grief, that's some.
So she's held the trademark to this font of the 8, and we go back to 2017. I know you've seen this commercial.
Yep.
He was no longer sponsored by Budweiser, but Budweiser put out this commercial to celebrate Dale Jr.'s career, and it's the best commercial.
Yeah, it's really good.
It'll bring a tear to your eye.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at that commercial, they have to blur the 8.
Yes.
They're showing races from 2001, 2004, whatever. They have to blur the 8 because Teresa owns it.
Wow.
Right? That's how crazy this is. So, a few months ago, all these rumblings are happening that, people check on the trademarks. I don't even know where you do that, but it's public information.
It's a government site.
It's public information. So, they notice that trademark is coming up, and she hasn't refiled for it.
Mm-hmm. And so, Junior refiled
and then
for
they notice another company called, like, Earnhardt something, whatever, has filed to take it over if it's not renewed.
Okay.
Right? Well, that ends up being Dale Jr.
Oh.
So Teresa didn't renew it. And the other thing with Teresa, and Dale Jr. will say this too, she's had all this and you haven't seen any merchandise with the 8.
No.
So you can say, it's shitty for her to have all this, but it's not like she's been profiting off it either. She's really protected the brand.
Yeah.
Whether we like that or not.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be one thing if she held on to it and then was just pushing out all this merchandise of Dale Jr. that people would definitely buy and profiting, and he didn't see $1.
Yeah.
Right? She hasn't done that.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, she just held on to it. Well, she finally gave up. Dale Jr. gets it. I'm going to have you bring up the other picture in a second.
Okay.
So, we know Budweiser came back.
Yeah.
Right? They've always been a partner of his, if not sponsoring him, but good relations, right?
And to get in to a little bit, Budweiser maybe not been on a car, but Anheuser-Busch has always been on a car.
They've always been a NASCAR.
Busch Light has been
Busch beer.
Busch beer, yes. The biggest, one of the biggest sponsors, definitely top 3 probably of the whole series, not just a car.
And one of the longest tenured with
yes.
Anheuser-Busch.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about an electrical property. So every DEI car used to have this right here. So if you look at that, on the left-hand side, it's a big E, right?
Yeah.
You go to the other side, it's reversed, and it's a big 3.
Okay, on this side of the car, so just the passenger side.
It's a DEI thing, right? It's an E for Earnhardt. It's a 3 on the other side. But it's just a not logo, but it's a design, right? So every DEI car had that. So go pull up his other one.
Okay.
This one that he just came out with. So he's got the number 8 now. It looks like shit, but
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why it wasn't.
Guess what we don't have?
We don't have that E.
Because she owns that.
She owns that, and that trademark did not expire.
That's what I'm saying. So,
okay.
But just little things like that. I mean, it's all.
And you can. I know you guys. It's so blurry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why the computer wouldn't load it. But we've had some computer issues, so I wasn't testing it too much. But even on the passenger side of the car, it's just 2 black lines.
Just 2 black lines.
Yeah.
That don't have an ending. It just comes out of the wheel well.
Yeah.
So little things like that. I mean, I think that's really interesting.
It is.
But so Dale Jr. got the 8 back. Everybody wants Teresa to come on the Dale Jr. download. Everybody hates Teresa. The latest thing she's done besides this is there's been an announcement, once again, all public records. So Dale Earnhardt owned all this property.
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds and hundreds of acres. Well, she's trying to sell part of it for an industrial complex, right? This is Dale Earnhardt's farm that he hasn't been on since 2001, right?
Yeah.
And people are crucifying her. They're like, Dale's rolling over in his grave. And I'm like, Dale would be 70-something years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and once again, it was all left to her.
Yeah.
Whether people hate her or not, that was the love of Dale Earnhardt's life. And he trusted her to have and do.
He could have left it to Junior.
He could have.
He could have left it to this guy we didn't even know about.
Right.
Yeah. His firstborn.
Yeah.
He could have.
Carrie, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so I think she gets a lot of hate. I think she probably is. There's probably some shitty stuff she's done, right? The whole reason of Junior leaving, I mean, he probably never should have left. That should have been his company. Mm-hmm. That company would still be here if Junior was probably
100%.
more control.
Yeah.
But they just didn't. They never saw eye to eye. They probably never would have. But yeah, she's still regarded as the Wicked Witch of the South. That's what's so funny is like we haven't talked about her in so long. This comes back up, and you see all these people.
Yeah, that's why I was texting you because I had like really never heard her name ever.
Yeah.
I had never heard her name even really spoke of, and because I couldn't have told you till this came out this week who his wife was.
Yeah,
I couldn't have told you at all.
It was a big deal. Like mid 2000s, it was like she probably couldn't go out in public.
Whoa!
People hated her.
Wow,
they still hate her.
Yeah,
but I just don't know how much of it's justified, really. And so much of it's in the past.
Yeah.
And also, I don't see why people...
How old is she now?
I know she was a little bit younger than him, but I mean, she's got to be 60s.
Yeah.
70s, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably mid-60s if I had to guess. But I just think it's crazy. And you know how crazy NASCAR fans are.
They are
but it's like
crazy.
She wants to sell this property. Who gives a shit?
Who cares? I'm with you.
It's not our property.
No.
Dale's not on the property.
No.
Obviously. So
who's to say if the funny thing is if Dale was still alive and he sold the property, no one would bat an eyelash. No one would care.
No. So it's weird, but it obviously I think it's a good overview because, like you said, some people, if you just started watching,
you have no idea what's going on.
Why does everybody hate this?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, what did this lady do? Did she kill someone?
Yeah,
that's what they act like.
You would think.
That's what they act like. Is she, again, I don't necessarily, the rundown that you gave, I thought was great of, she maybe did some questionable things, but even with Carrie and Earnhardt, I kind of see where she's kind of coming from.
Yeah.
You know, you can definitely take that side. And what happened with Dale, there's some bad blood there, but it's not like it killed Junior's career.
No, he went off Hendrick Motorsports.
It went fine. It went perfectly fine.
She had no business running a cup team, but that's
what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
No one knew that was going to happen.
No.
That's whether she went about it right or not. She probably just wasn't qualified, and she probably didn't go about it the right way.
Of course,
I think it worked out the best for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back on it, I mean, Dale Jr. got to go run the best equipment he possibly could.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And the last thing I'll say, and we can move on. Who's to say we said DEI would probably be around if Junior got that team? Who's to say they'd be any good?
Right.
You know?
Because that's the other thing is like, okay, people are like, well, they should have just handed control over to Junior. He was like 27, 28. Yeah. I mean, he didn't know.
No. Not the full extent of running a cup team.
No, not like he could do it now.
Yes.
He's 50 years old now.
Yeah.
He's been through it. But you just can't.
And if he wanted to right now, he could start one.
Yeah,
if he wanted to, especially as we've seen with the charters.
They might just give him 3 charters when they beat 23-11 in court.
They might. They might
just give him. I can see that happening.
Yeah, If I'm Junior, I'm watching that court thing. You might steal a couple charters for cheap.
And all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? Maybe NASCAR's in the right.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Yeah. All right. Well, good overview. Let's get into Las Vegas recap.
Yeah, so, man. This is a crazy race.
Good race rating. What'd you have?
I give it a 6.8. Thought it was pretty good.
Okay. I gave it an 8.2.
8.2.
Yeah. I thought it was amazing.
I don't know.
I don't know why. I don't want to judge why you didn't like it, but I think many people that didn't like it. Take Joey Logano out of the 22 car.
8.4. I know.
People hate him,
and I tried
that
to not do
strategy
it.
at the end, dude. Oh my god, that strategy was so cool.
Both strategies played out very well.
Yeah.
I mean, Seabell was so close. If you give him one more lap, maybe even a lap and a half.
But then Blaney comes into it too. But
yeah.
I love that old school strategy of like, there's no way Joey's strategy does not work 9 out of 10 times.
I know, and it worked.
Because
it's Joey Logano.
We never see that strategy work ever. And I'm like, please just go green. Even if Joey wins, I don't care. Just go green because I want to see this organically.
Mm-hmm. And it did. It did. Maybe I'm a little low. Should have probably went 7.
No, well, what did you not like about it?
I didn't like the fact that Joey won. Honestly, I thought the race was almost bland. Like the first 2 stages were just let's get them over with, and then stage 3 really raised the rating for me because of the strategy play. And then of course Joey won, and I'm just sitting there watching, and I was. How many cautions did we have? Like 3?
It was a handful because people kept wrecking out of nowhere, like Austin Dillon.
That was, but all this happened in stage 1, and stage 2. So I don't know. I just went a little. Probably a lot of it was Joey, because how Joey got there. Yeah. To me, he shouldn't be there.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I thought, and I mean, I don't know. I'm just so used to an old school race, right? And I think that's where the stage is. You're exactly right, where it's like just get through stage 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then, I think without that, you have strategy throughout the race.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
But we don't have that, so I felt like the whole race was building. And then the
building was kind of good, and then what I wanted to happen didn't happen.
Right.
So it hurt my race rating. I was completely.
Sports,
I know. So I give it a bad rating.
Imagine being an Alabama fan last week.
Yeah.
And that game builds, and then you get destroyed. You're gonna say if you're an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
You're going to say that was a terrible game.
Exactly.
It was a great game.
It was a great game.
It was an amazing game.
It was.
So I think that's where a lot of people come from. So I just love that strategy, man. And I mean, it was like, he's got to get him by a second a lap. It's going to come down.
Yeah.
And they're telling us this really great broadcast.
They did a great job.
They're like, he should get there and like with 3 or 4 to go.
Yeah.
He gets held up by, he had that one lap where he got stuck behind 2 or 3 cars.
Yep.
Seabell did.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh man, it's gonna really come down to it.
Yeah.
And Joey just turned on the burners.
Yeah.
On old tires.
Dude, he's so good at like saving.
It's nuts.
Like when I think I was also kind of irritated that either Suarez didn't have anything for him.
Yeah.
But all Suarez had to do was hold him up for a lap and a half.
But I think that shows the driver matters.
No, it does. It does. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, Joey's still got to pass Suarez. Suarez still wants to win. Suarez is on the same exact strategy. Not saying that their car was exactly the same. Of course, I know Joey's faster there. He's always been pretty good at Vegas. But I really thought that Suarez would make it way harder to pass him than he did. It's almost like he kind of laid over for him.
Because I think he was so worried about saving fuel. And this is my other thing I love about, and I feel like it used to happen more. It doesn't, but it happened at Vegas. The guys are saving fuel, right? And they're waiting for their crew chief to say, go.
Yeah.
Right?
And so you saw it.
Joey's behind Suarez, and they're like, hey, go get him.
Yeah.
And he went,
boom.
That just fires me.
It took him a half a lap to reel him in.
But it's like, that's got to feel so good as a driver, too, because you're sitting there, like, you're so easy on the throttle, and they're like, go.
Yeah.
Go. And it's like game time.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. It sucks it was Joey.
It does suck
I
it was Joey.
I understand that completely. But on the same, and we'll move into standouts. Since we're talking about Joey, I think all this hate about Joey, it's like, what do you want him to not win?
Yeah. I know. I mean,
yes. What I'm saying? It's like, people are like, it's bullshit. He was out and then he was in. It's like, well, let's say he missed the playoffs completely. He's still going to show up to that Vegas race.
No, 100%.
Same thing.
But it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
If we don't have this format and this race happens, people are just going to be like, they'll probably still be like, well, I hate Joey won, but it's not going to piss them off as much.
No, it's not an
It's just a
uproar.
win.
Yeah.
At that point, it's just a win.
But now, as we know with Joey and even numbered years, that it's just playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I was looking at our show sheet earlier. You had him in your Final Four.
I told, yeah.
You knew it.
I know. I knew it. I that's what also irritated me is I knew he was going to get there.
Yeah.
But I should have bet on him. I should have known going into this race that he had a good shot to win. And literally his only chance to get in was to win one of the final three.
Because he was so far down.
He was so far down. And I wish I would have just paid a little bit more attention going to Miami and going to Martinsville. He's not great at those tracks.
But he's won them. He's
won at both of them, but he's not. I don't know. For some odd reason, I do think he's better. 2 years ago, he won at Vegas to put him into.
But now I wouldn't count him to do anything at Homestead and Martinsville.
No, he's going to finish 25th.
Because anytime he's sitting in a sim between last Sunday to 2-3 weeks from now,
it's going to be Phoenix.
It's
Yes.
Everything's Phoenix.
Yeah.
They might bring like a number 2 backup car.
Yeah.
Like they're getting Austin Cindric's backups and just throwing it out there because they're focused on Phoenix.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying like.
No, he doesn't care.
They don't care.
He does. Yeah, and you shouldn't.
No, why would you? Play the format.
It doesn't matter.
And I know people get upset. They're like, well, they're just playing the format. It's like, well, that's their job.
That is their job.
Don't be mad at Joey. Mm-hmm. Don't be mad at the 22.
And we're one caution away. We're 2 laps away from that strategy not working out.
Right.
I mean, that's what crazy. They did do it very well. They played it perfectly.
They did their job.
They did their job. And what the also thing that sucks is you go to Seabell, who has been so good all year, and you go to him and pretty much he tells you, I was the fastest car all day.
And I don't think there was no reason for them to. That's such a risky strategy. Like we look at it a week away and we're like, oh, of course that's the right strategy to stay out.
Yes.
That never works.
Never does.
That never works.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the absolute right thing.
My only question is, what could have Seabell's team done different when Joey was staying out? Because they pitted in the window to could they have stayed out maybe 2 more to maybe get a little bit more speed on him? But he was also so good at saving.
Yeah, I think they came in at the right time because he had to have that many laps
to catch him
to chip away at it, and I think Joey just did a really good job. But he got held up. I think it was with 10 to go or something by those handful of lap cars. Mm-hmm. What was also going to be a problem is if he got. I mean, Blaney was hanging out behind Joey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Laps down. That was going to play a factor.
It did. It did. I mean, Blaney pushed him through the
past couple laps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how much that helps in these,
for sure,
taking the drag away from the car to where he can run a little bit faster, and he's getting pushed a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
and it's such a momentum-based car that it's hard to come back from. I mean, that's just...
So, but I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just saying that's NASCAR. I mean, you look back at, I think it was Vegas earlier this year when Reddick was trying to catch Larson. Wasn't Bubba doing the same thing to Reddick?
Yes, he was.
I mean,
he was.
It doesn't feel right either way, but that's just how it is.
I think it hurts more because Penske's so good at doing it.
Yeah.
They are the best at it. They somehow have created a culture there that it is team first, driver second. And I don't think we see that anywhere else. Even at Hendrick, even at Joe Gibbs, any other premier team that we have, Penske does it perfectly. All those guys buy into
Roger. They're buying into Roger.
I know, but I'm saying Roger has set that standard that when you come here and you race for my team, that it is going to be a team first, and you will succeed as a driver. We will make sure you succeed if you're good enough, and we will put you in positions to succeed. But you don't do anything that hurts Penske.
No,
No,
they're all driving for Roger.
It's so good, and you hate it because it's not the team that I cheer for.
Yeah.
But golly, it's. They if you're a Penske fan, you love it.
Yeah.
Because now, that was my question to you that I was going to ask is, I think, Joey's not going to care about this race. His only concern is going to get Blaney to the Final Four. That's going to be wherever Blaney's at, especially at Miami. And we know he's won there before.
Yeah, but if he can block a leader,
exactly,
or anything like that,
anything, or happened to just get there with a strategy and be right next to Blaney when he's running second.
And I think it's the little things too. Let's say there's a late race restart and Joey's around Blaney. He just doesn't take the preferred.
100%.
Little stuff like that.
Yes.
Little stuff.
Which makes a world of difference.
It adds up all day.
All day.
All right. I got one more. I'm going to touch on Carson and Corey, then I got one more question before we get into predictions. So, Corey was on that same strategy as Logano.
Yes.
It actually worked out for him.
It did.
He was not up there all day. Justin Haley, top 10 all day.
Yeah.
Top 10. Didn't end up as good as he ran. So, Corey beat Carson.
Yeah.
So, it's Carson 23, Corey 10. He did hit double digits.
Mm-hmm.
The weird one for me here, Justin and Corey 2-2.
I know.
2-2.
Yeah.
So I think, and I mean, obviously it was strategy.
This was a turning point because it was 2-1.
Yeah.
We thought Justin Haley get the lead here at this race and really just excel from there, catapult him for the last ones. And now we've got a battle, because you take a 2-race lead here, Corey's got to be exceptional to get him back.
And we're getting a real track, so I think that'll, it will be exposed that he's in an inferior car. But Corey's racing for a job next year.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Ware has not said that they've signed him to next year. And I think this is something they look at, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we traded him for a guy that went to a better car. Can Corey just make it happen? I mean, even though it was strategy, he didn't fence it.
No, he didn't.
And he is very good at that.
He is really good at that.
It'll be interesting. I think he ends up getting a ride at Rick Ware. I think they signed him.
Wow,
I think they signed him to next year. I really do. Because he's going to bring a little bit. We already saw Schluter on the car.
Yeah.
Any sponsorship there is huge.
Yeah.
For Rick Ware.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question. We'll get into predictions. Is the format exposed, or is this the same? And you've seen the outcry.
Yeah.
If Joey wins the championship, does the format change?
No. I mean, I think the outcry has been the past 3 years. I mean, because I saw it. Honestly, when I started watching in 2017 when Joey won his first one, or 2018, I'm sorry, when he was the underdog of that Final Four, literally, had one win, I think, and all the rest of them had compiled 19 wins combined for the three, because it was Truex, Kyle Busch, and Kevin.
Kevin, yeah.
Wasn't it?
The big three.
The big three. And Joey wins it. You go from there. Who won in 2019? Chase. Kyle won.
Pretty deserving.
Yes, pretty deserving.
Yeah.
2020 was Chase.
Which was iffy.
It was iffy.
And then 21 was Kyle.
Kyle Larson.
Yeah. For sure deserved.
Yes, 100%.
22 is Joey.
22 is Joey.
Not deserving.
Not deserving at all.
No,
at all. Not even close, man.
Closer than he is this year.
Yes,
but
closer.
Still not close.
Yeah.
23 was Blaney.
Yep.
Not even close.
No, not.
So.
Sorry, JD.
It
wasn't.
It's just
it wasn't.
The facts.
Yeah, it's just the facts. And then we'll find out in 24. I mean,
I don't see how Joey doesn't win it.
Here, let me ask you this question. Format exposed. Out of the 7 cars left now that have to get, who is the other 3 deserving? To me, it would be Seabell, Larson, and Willie B. But I mean, and even Willie B is kind of a stretch.
It's like Willie B and Denny.
Or Reddick. Or Denny, yeah.
I mean,
Denny.
It's just they haven't done anything lately.
Exactly.
That's what sucks. But they still, Joey's had 6 top 5s this year.
Golly, that's so bad.
3 of them are wins.
I mean, you think about
3 of them are wins, all in the right time.
I would love to see how the points play out if he didn't get a win at Nashville. Joey.
He wouldn't have made the playoffs.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know. Because we were at that race, and it was literally, he wasn't even a factor, and it was Denny and Ross.
And I'm pretty sure if Austin Dillon's win would have stood at Richmond, Joey would have been, because I think that would have put us at 60. Wasn't there only 1 spot available? Maybe there's 2.
There was 2, I think, yeah.
2, so I think he came into the playoffs 15 or 16.
No, I think he came in at 14.
Okay.
Because Chase Briscoe and Harrison Burton were below him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But imagine starting the playoffs at 14th and you're in the Final 4.
Yeah, you win round 1, you win round 2. Or he didn't win round 2. He squeezed by, I guess.
Yeah.
And then round 3.
Yeah, round 3 he wins.
Now he's in.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's how he does it.
To me, your question is the format's been exposed.
Yeah.
It's not new. It's how long can NASCAR put up with the criticism that they're getting from the fans?
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Because I can't, and obviously Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, that's all a small sample size, right?
Oh, yes.
But I don't see anybody that's happy with it.
No.
And even, Logano fans are like, oh, it's going to be awesome if he wins, and everybody cries about it. But I mean, even a Logano fan would be like, it's not
a true NASCAR fan. That's a Logano fan is going to know, hey, he ran one over on him.
Yeah,
right here.
Good for him.
Yes,
it still counts.
Yeah,
but I mean, if he gets this championship, it's like you can make a case all three of them are. And I hate that for Joey because I think he's a really, really good driver.
Yes,
but his championships are just so.
And that's what we've talked about so much on the show is that championships don't mean as much anymore. They don't. It's sad because in every other sport, championships mean everything.
Yeah,
they do because they have a format to where stuff works perfectly. Now we've seen in college football, not to bring that up, but they've changed the format tremendously, and you still don't see this crazy upcry. Nothing massive. We saw Florida State last year, who they thought should have been in the college football Final Four. Look at them now. Perfect call.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord they didn't get in. Now, granted, they lost a quarterback and whatever, but, I mean, these things happen for a reason, but golly, Joey is so good. His team is so good at figuring out how to be good in the last 4 races. He's like, I just need to be good for 4 races. Get me there.
And I think, they're like, well, this format rewards winning. It's like other sports reward winning.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cut and dry because, just to bring college football back up, you look at someone like an Alabama, right? They're 2 losses.
Yeah.
But it's not like wins are everything.
No.
Because they wouldn't be ranked. You got to look at the product. You got to look at the game.
Yes.
Was it a close game? Did they get blown? If Vandy blows them out and then we blow them out, you're not top 25.
No,
you're still top 25. Correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
They're playing Missouri today, so it'll be.
But I mean, if it's all cut and dry wins like our format is, they wouldn't even consider what actually goes on. I think that's where you're not considering Joey winning a race and him also finishing 31st.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is the difference. That's such a good point.
Yeah, and I think that's you can make it cut and dry and say, well, we care about wins just like other sports.
Don't
because other things matter.
Yeah,
in other sports as
100%.
Well. So and once again, like
Harrison Burton, prime example.
I mean, and that's the other thing.
34th in points.
Let's say Vandy lost every single game, but they beat Alabama. Right, they're not going to the college football playoffs.
No.
Is that not what Harrison Burton did?
That's exactly what Harrison Burton did.
That's to me. That's
Harrison Burton came in and beat. I mean, not now, but Vandy's not a good comparison anymore Alabama's not a good comparison anymore because they got 2 losses now. Right. But say Texas wins last week and they go into Vanderbilt this week. They play Vandy today.
Yeah.
Vandy beats Texas again, you're going to look and go, maybe Texas is not as good as we thought, or Vandy's that good, or they just keep it close. Then you're like, Vandy's actually really good.
Yeah. And all that's considered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no consideration in this.
I think if Vandy keeps it close today, I don't think they lose their spot in the top 25.
Right.
I don't.
They shouldn't.
I don't think they should. If they hold a number 5 Texas team at home to a touchdown, they're in it with 4 minutes to go in the 4th. I think that's a game.
I think
that is a game.
It shows a lot about them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas Joey can just go win.
Yeah. All he has to do is show up one week.
Yeah.
Just be better. And he's got freaking 33 chances to do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, 33. What do you mean?
Well, you can't count the final race because...
Oh, so 35?
Yeah.
There's 36 races.
I know, but I was trying to play into the format because he's got to get there first. Right. So he's got... How many? 30 races?
23 races.
23 races in the regular season to win a race, to get in. Yeah. So he's only got 23 races that he's got to show up for one of those,
in a top tier team.
And then he can squeak by the first, then he's got another 9 races to play with, right? Yeah. He's got 9 races. He's only got to really show up for less than half of those, especially if he wins one.
Yeah.
and then just the last one. So again, this is not mathematically, but I think this would be interesting to look at. If you show up for the right 3 races of the year, you could win a championship, which to me is
insane.
That's not what our sport should be about.
No,
it's not. It doesn't quantify the whole season. Because then why do we not start from the Daytona 500 of just eliminating guys?
Yeah.
You know, to me, that would be more compelling. If you went, hey, you finished last in this race, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, or something.
Which would be even more insane. But
it would be.
We're damn close to that.
We're close.
Yeah.
Because as you know, like you finish, you go through and I'm sorry we're still talking about this, but you go the first 3 races of the season. If you finish back half of the points, dude, you're practically like, I have to get a win. You know, I mean, 3 races into the year to get to the playoff.
Yeah, you can't crawl back up.
Not really.
Because in the meantime, 10 more people are going to win.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's, to me, you've made it to where after the first 3 races of the year, if we have been dog water, I have to win.
Yeah, I know. Just adopt my format and it'd be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
All right,
go listen to that episode.
That's good. That's good conversation. Let's head into Homestead predictions. So Homestead, 1.5 miles, no tri-oval. Did you know that? So
I did know. I saw that.
Wears out tires, and they're going to be, you know,
running the boards, baby.
Running the boards for sure. You have the option to run a little bit lower. It all depends on time of day. I know, like if it's a night race, I don't remember what time this race is starting, but I think it's a day race. I know when they ran it at night in
2:30.
2:30. They ran it at night. William Byron won it. I think that was 21, maybe even 22. I can't remember. But, you know, when that track cools off, the top isn't as dominant. But, you know, definitely look for, obviously, Larson.
Yep.
You know, I think Larson in 22 or maybe 23, his last win at Homestead, it had to have been 22. Just dog walked the field.
Yes.
And they said if it would have went green, he would have lapped. Like statistically, by speeds, he would have lapped the whole field.
Yeah.
If it would have went green.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this new car with that carbon fiber body, you know, you can lay it on the fence and you don't have to worry about cutting a tire.
No.
So that's huge for Reddick. That's huge for Briscoe. That's huge for Larson. All these dirt guys that love.
Just getting as literally touching it almost every single lap.
You can't put a piece of paper between the car and the wall. No. So always an exciting race. Hopefully Larson doesn't destroy the sand barrels again.
Oh dude, he's got to race so clean. Sorry, I was looking at kind of moving into bets a little bit, but anyway, they've got to stay clean. No mistakes from those guys that are going to be really good here. Larson now cannot afford to make a mistake.
No.
He is not locked in. He doesn't have to win. He has to run good. But he has to run good. Yeah. It would be nice for him to win a stage. It would be nice that he finishes with stage points in stage 2 and then finishes top 5 in the whole race. I mean, I think
he dominates. I really do.
Did you see qualifying? That's kind of what I was looking at. Tyler Reddick won the pole.
Okay.
Larson's second.
Yeah, I hope that's a dogfight all day.
Dude.
And Seabell won there last year.
Yep.
Now, he probably wouldn't have because Blaney had crazy speed there last year.
Yes, he did.
Then fell back when Larson hit him on pit road. Obviously, Larson had the best car, but the clean air. He was fighting from behind. And that's why he was so aggressive getting to pit road.
Yes.
But Seabell ended up winning, so you can't count him out.
No.
I don't know where Denny's speed is. I really don't.
Denny is fourth
in
qualifying.
Well,
so
hopefully that's good.
He's got some speed there.
He's won there.
He's won there. I know he's good there.
Yeah.
But he has to win.
Yeah.
He has to win.
Pretty much.
With Joey went from 8th to 1st.
Yeah.
It's still ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But that puts guys Denny, Reddick, even Seabell. Seabell cannot lazy around here. Willie B. No. Everyone cannot lazy around here.
And that is the one thing. I mean, I feel like we've got such a good final 8.
Yes.
That it's going to be. We're going to see the best guys now.
Hopefully,
and Logano's out of the equation, so we're just going to have to be.
We're going to see 7 guys that are potentially going to be really good. The only one I'm really worried about now is Chase. I don't think Chase.
I think Chase is pretty much out.
I do too. I don't see him winning here because not only that I can't see him winning here, I just think there's so many other guys that are better here.
Right.
Like
it's
Larson
for him.
Seabell, Blaney, Reddick, Danny. All these guys are better at these tracks than he is. I think that.
Yeah, his only chance is to, and he's won Martinsville. You know, his championship year, he won Martinsville, locked himself in.
Yes,
but it's not that car anymore.
No,
right?
No,
I mean, I just still
and that year he had shown more speed. He won more than one race.
Yeah, he won 5 races.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's
and we've talked about this before. That race was honestly a luck. It was luck.
The one he won?
Yeah, in Texas? Yeah. Yes. I think we had a bet with Colby or something or somebody.
I have a bet with Colby that he's not going to pay it, but I told him that's the only race Chase will win this year.
Exactly. I thought someone had a bet. I didn't know if it was between. I don't think it was between me and you because I think we were on the same page. It was Colby.
Yeah.
Colby thought he would win another one.
Yeah.
So you only got 3 races left.
And I feel amazing about it.
Yes, amazing. I would.
Yeah,
I would.
He's no Joey Logano.
So. He is not a Joey Logano.
But all right, well, I'm really looking forward to it. I think Homestead's the best mile and a half.
It is. I agree with you.
You know, people say Kansas. Kansas is still good too, but
Kansas
I just
really
think
good.
I think Homestead shows who the drivers are. It might get a little spread out. It might seem boring at times, but
it will. It will. But I'm preparing for that. I don't know why. I didn't prepare for that at Vegas. I think Vegas had shown us some fireworks like the last couple of years, and I got excited, and then we kind of had a Miami type race, and not that that's bad. But I just wasn't prepared for it. No, you know what I mean.
But see, if we have that Las Vegas strategy at Homestead, that'd be insane.
Yeah, it'd be a 9-5.
You'd have somebody running the boards
so hard,
knocking the wall down, and then the other guy's just on the bottom saving.
Yes,
and that's what it would turn into.
And it would be electric.
It would be very electric.
It would be electric.
All right, well, get us into bets. How did Vegas go for us?
Vegas, we lost everything, dude. Another tough outing. So now we've lost 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Thank God for Ricky Stenhouse, though.
Dude, Ricky Stenhouse saving our souls. It's tough because without Joey's strategy and even Swart in a couple cars, Willie B would have paid for us, even though you didn't feel good about it.
No, but
I told you Willie B would be good.
Place all day.
He was the second best car.
Yeah.
But he was right behind Seabell. I felt so good about it. Literally, I'm watching stage 1 and 2. And, of course, he wasn't exactly in second all day. But you could tell he had the second best car when he got there. And I was like, we're golden. Seabell's going to win. Okay, that's not Larson. But I'm about to cash with you, and I'm about to cash with the books, you know. Yeah. And he finished 4th. So that's what hurt even more is that I'd rather him finish 19th, you know. Yeah. And so that's tough. So I need to do another bet with you because I want to double down one more time on something.
What are you owe me now?
$10. Yeah, because we doubled. Okay. I lost 5. We doubled. Now I lost 10.
Lost again.
I'm good at losing, but then I win. If you want to double, if you want me to pay up, I'll pay up.
No. Well, let me.
I'm only doubling. You heard it on record.
Entertain me.
I'm only doubling one more time. 20 is where I go. I'll hand you $20. Yeah, I know.
Well, give us our overall. What are we down before we get?
We're down 1.1 units. So we were up 2.1. Right. Now we're down 1.1. And the reason I kept looking for the odds is qualifying was today. They still don't have the odds posted on.
We might get some value.
We might get a little value.
You can see results.
I can see results, and I wrote these down before qualifying had posted, and I looked. So I want that to be good, and I feel pretty confident.
Okay.
So there won't be a value in a couple of them for sure, but I feel confident. We're trying to go winners. I'm trying to make people up at the end of the year, you know, because I can't get in a big hole.
Yeah.
Because I only got
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only got. Yeah, this week and 2 more.
Yeah.
I only got 3 weeks to win. So, first one, Willie B to win. I think there's going to be some value in this. He's won here before. Granted,
is that what you want to double or nothing on?
No.
Okay.
No, heck no. Half a unit. Just half a unit. We're gonna splurge. Not splurge, I guess. Half a unit on him. Okay. And I don't know his odds.
You don't know his odds?
Because they're not posted.
I got you.
I couldn't find them. I just looked again. I didn't look on DraftKings. Real quick, pull up on DraftKings. See if we can get something.
Like I said, he won that night race.
He did win that night race.
I wish I could, but was that a Gen 6 car? I cannot remember.
I wish I knew what year. I think it was.
It was before well, it would have been right after they took Miami out of the playoff race, or out of the championship race, and it was originally in the regular. It was like the 3rd race of the year. It was in the regular season.
Yeah. DraftKings doesn't have it either. So, but yes, yeah, I think it was a Gen 6 car, but he's as I told you last week, he's good on mile and a halves.
He is.
He's not as good as running the boards as these other guys, but who knows?
Yeah.
Strategy play. We just saw Joey win.
Right.
Half a unit. Tyler Reddick, top 5. I feel like there's not going to be much value there, but I want to win half a unit on him in case something goes wrong. And then we're going back to the whale, which I feel really good about. Alex Bowman, top 10, whole unit. He's qualified 11th. I feel
doable.
Very doable. If you've got that kind of speed, he's still fighting for a job. He thinks he's getting fired soon.
Right.
I mean, again, if he feels he can't play against his team, if a team wants him to lose, he's not going to do as good. But I don't know. I hope they have the fire that they don't want anyone. They don't want the driver to change. They like Bowman. Mm-hmm. They want him in there because they think he's good at what he does, and I think he's good at what he does. I think he deserves that ride. One full unit on top 10 Bowman. I'm going to go back at the end of the year and count how many Bowman top 10s we've hit because I think it's like 6.
Yeah.
It's like 6. I know I bet on him.
It seems like every time.
It seems like every time. And then one I just feel so confident of, Larson top 3, 1 unit. Full unit on him. Again, so I have 2 picks in there that probably are going to be minus odds. Yeah. Honestly, Reddick's probably going to be minus on the top 5, and Larson's going to be at either like plus 100 or minus 115, something for the top 3. But I feel like those are money makers that we can.
Yeah, I mean, if we even take minus odds to climb, we're only down.
Yeah, we're only down a unit. Yeah. All we do is have to just win one of those. Right. We get our unit back.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And then if we can if somehow we can hit the Willie B, that would be crazy. But if we can hit the Bowman, because I think our value pick this week is the William Byron winner.
Yeah, I know. Well, and also they might be sleeping on Bowman because they're so focused on this top 8.
Exactly, they're sleeping on Bowman a bit.
I think that's
what I'm hoping. So this will come out. They'll release them back probably either tonight again or in the morning, and I'll cash those in. So y'all be on the lookout for those. Okay. Cash those in.
So we're down 1.1 units.
Yep.
Nothing too scary.
No.
We got Willie B to win, half unit. Reddick top 5, half unit. Bowman top 10, 1 unit. And then a Larson top 3, 1 unit. So
3 units again.
Pretty good. I'm not even going to say I feel good about him because I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
But I feel good about him.
Okay. I don't like any of those bets to take with you, really, except the Alex Bowman top 10.
Yeah, but I'd be on your side.
I know, exactly. And I'm not taking the Willie B because I just told you that I'm not fully confident. I don't think that'll happen. To me, if that loses, you should have to give me money. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't have to break even with that. The odds are in your favor. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, that's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to give you odds either.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
What do you like? What do you like from the race? And you tell me what you like.
All right. Let me think of something. I bet you, because you're a big Carson Hocevar guy.
Yeah.
You think he'll get a top 10?
Oh. Can I see where he qualified?
Yeah, you can see where he qualified. I think he's too reckless for a Homestead to finish top 10.
15th. Got some speed. Qualified 15th. I'll take that. I'll take that from my last $20 bill in my wallet.
If he finishes top 10,
I win. We're even.
We're even. Otherwise, I get $20.
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think he'll show speed. I wouldn't be surprised if he drives his way into the top 10.
Yeah.
But dude,
you're like you said, staying there and not being reckless.
Yeah, it's such a ragged.
Is he going to run the boards?
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think that'll be his demise.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. That makes me more nervous, but you got to take something.
But he could just be Carson Hocevar and nail it.
But and he's done it many a times.
I think that's the best coin flip we could have.
It really, I'm with you. I like it. I like it.
We'll stay updated on that.
Yep.
You ready to close out and get into Choose Who Zone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Choose Who Zone. I got to pull it up here.
Are we doing surprises or?
No, we're not done with surprises. Okay. We're not done with surprises. You've been thinking about that the whole show, haven't you?
I'm worried, yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a cool surprise.
My ex-girlfriend comes out or something?
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Not what I want. Oh, yeah. Sorry. We've had some computer troubles this week. I didn't want Chrome just sitting open for the whole show. You know what I mean?
Completely.
So now we've got it pulled up. We're going to exit out of some things. This. We're going to pull this over here. You're good. All right. Choose who zone. Let me pull back up the show. Okay. You can see it very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 4-2.
Yeah, I still got 4-2.
I'm going to preface this one with, I don't think you're going to get any questions. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's make up rules as we go.
Yeah. I'm NASCAR.
Okay.
Okay.
So no questions. Are you confirming
No, I'm not.
or?
No. I'm going to let you ask questions, but I'm going to be very strict.
Hard vetoes.
Hard vetoes. Okay. If you don't know, this is the Choose Who Zone rules. 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 total guesses, but I can veto hard the questions, and I'm going to veto hard this week.
And I can trade.
You can trade questions.
Guesses.
Yeah. And now, granted, if you ask 2 questions, I let you go. You want to trade another question for a guess, I veto it. You still get your guess back.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
not really, but you can let me know if that happens.
Okay. Fact 1. In legal trouble in 2015. Legal trouble.
I think I already got it.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Fact 2. 34 Cup Series wins.
I'm pretty sure I got it.
Yep. Good. One-time Cup Series champion. Let's go.
Is it Kurt Busch?
It is. Yeah. It's Kurt Busch. Yeah. Kurt Busch.
Why'd you make that so easy?
I made it so easy because I was hoping some of the fans would know what we were doing. But next surprise is I got another one.
Oh, my
Yeah. I got another one.
Okay.
So that was last week's.
That
was last week's.
All right, well, it's 5-2.
Yep. 5-2. We're going to run it back.
Oh, my God. Now it's going to be someone that ran one race in his whole career.
No, you should get this one too.
You know what his legal trouble was?
Yeah, I read about it.
Did you read about it?
Yeah, about it hitting his ex-wife.
Yeah, but then he said his wife was like a undercover hitman.
Oh, no, I didn't know
and
that.
She came home from... She was like gone, and then she came home and she was covered in blood one night and stuff. He like swore she was a CIA hitman or something.
Oh my
god. It's nuts. Yeah, you'll have to.
God. Okay.
You have to get into it. He didn't he didn't hit her.
He didn't?
No, he got reinstated immediately. After they went to trial and he's like, this bitch is crazy. Provided proof, they're like, yeah, she's crazy.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Like an Amber Heard, Johnny Depp type thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Except she was evidently a hitman killing people.
Dang.
Allegedly.
That's wild.
It's wild.
That is wild.
Give me that 30 for 30 right now.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Week 8. Okay. Here we are. Episode 34, Choose Who Zone. You know the rules. I just said them. 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 guesses. Fact 1 from South Carolina. I think you should get this one too. I'm nervous.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fact 2, 3-time Cup champion.
I think I know.
All-time Darlington winner.
All-time Darlington winner. Is it Cale Yarborough?
Wrong.
Oh, shoot. Really?
Yep. So you have 2 guesses left.
Oh, God. I just screwed myself hard. 3-time Cup champion. Yep. From South Carolina. I really thought that would be Cale. That's not Cale.
I promise you.
Oh,
you think I'm making it up?
Can I ask?
Yep.
So I'm down 1. Let me just write a note here. Not Cale Yarborough.
Yeah, guess him again.
Because he won. I think he's a 3-time Cup champion. I think he won 3 in a row. Wow. You really threw me an all-time Darlington winner. That's crazy, too. Can I ask what... Man, I want to be fair here. Can I ask what the last year he won a championship? What year was that? Is that too hard? You can veto it.
Let me look at what year.
It's got to be the 80s.
Older than that.
I'll
give you older than that.
Older than that.
I'll give you older than the 80s. That's your answer, so you have one guess left. I'm like...
I've only guessed one time. I got one question left.
Yes, I'm sorry. One question left. I misspoke. I misspoke.
It was before... His last championship was before the 80s.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. That's the answer to that question.
So... I don't think it's David Pearson because I don't think he won any championships, did he? But I know he was amazing at... Is it David Pearson?
It is.
Is it David Pearson?
Yeah, he won 3
I don't know why the Silver Fox. I guess I didn't realize he was a champion.
NASCAR Triple Crown winner, 3-time Southern 500 winner, 12 poles at Darlington, all-time leader as well.
The Silver Fox.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize because I thought he was always so part-time.
No, he won in 66, 68, and 69, 2 back-to-back.
Grand the 21 car, though?
Yeah.
It wasn't the 21 car? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Grand National Champions, but that's the same thing, ain't it?
That's the same thing.
Okay.
I think.
When I looked it up, it is. It is. When I looked it up, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Because, like, when you scroll down to his thing, it's like they're all lumped into one. They didn't start the Winston Cup till 1972.
Okay, so it was Grand National before that?
Yeah.
Okay. He is number 2 on the all-time wins list.
Yeah.
I believe he's got 102.
Yeah, something crazy.
Look it up now.
Let me make sure. 105.
105.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Richard Petty.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think if he would have been, if he would have got to race as much as Richard did, a little bit more.
And have the money.
Yeah. He would have been.
Just the Wood brothers.
I know.
I mean, just some...
That's crazy, ain't it?
Virginia. Yeah, it's nuts.
But I thought that was a good one.
That's a really good one. Yeah,
I tried to throw you with the facts a little bit.
You did.
Yeah. I was worried the Darlington one would give it away, but I looked at like the Kelly Yarborough had I think he has 10. Try to go back.
I can't remember how many wins. I think he just said the best all time.
Okay, I think he has like 12 wins. I think Kel had like 10.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. I think. Don't quote me on that. But I looked because I wanted to see how close it was. Yeah. Because then like the next closest guy was like 6. I was like, he's gonna know. But I think Kel was close. That's why I was like, okay.
Yeah. I think Kel's a 3-time champion.
I didn't look on that one. Right. He might be.
I can't remember. But now you can't do Kel either.
I know.
Because I'm on to you.
You might be. Or I'm going to completely change the facts. That's wild. But
oh man, well that was a good one.
Yeah,
I hate I had to beat you twice in a row.
I know, but we had to make up for last week. I gave you one.
Yeah, you did.
But I also that's why I prefaced the first one with practically no questions. Yeah. It's tough to do so recent drivers because even I would have probably got Kurt Busch right there. Right. But I wanted a little bit more fans as they're listening. Maybe they can go through and go, hey, I think I know who that is. Probably not going to know who David Pearson is.
No, probably not. Probably not.
But us real ones will.
I've been accused of cheating on this podcast.
No.
I have.
I will promise you, if there's anything that I want to do, is make Austin Sanders look like a fool right here across from the table. Well, that's what I want to do.
I'm guessing next week's going to be a lot harder. So
yeah, we're trumping it up a little bit. I'm gonna get to 3. I can tell you that.
I hope
I'm gonna get to 3.
We're like Justin Haley and Corey LaJoy right now.
That's right. You're trying to take a big lead. I ain't gonna let it happen. But,
all right, well, good episode, man. Where are you watching this week?
Your house.
My house?
Yeah, I'll be at your house if that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Catherine, she'll be gone. She'll be on her way back from Nashville this weekend, and I don't want to sit by myself. So if that's cool, I'll come over with you and Brittany.
Cook some food up.
Yeah, just a little bit. A little something. Yeah.
But, all right.
Yeah, good deal. Sorry, guys, for being so late. My computer ran great.
It did,
no problems today. It looks like we've got a place to edit this week, so I'm excited about that. We're going to get both episodes out on Sunday morning. They'll be out Sunday morning. So we'll have 33 and 34 out, and then we should be back on normal schedule again. So I'm excited. We're going to get through the end of this year, and we're pushing for upgrades. I promise you guys, We're pushing for upgrades, and I'm so excited about season 2. I'm so excited for the rest of this season.
Yeah.
We have so much that can happen.
I know.
I can't wait. But stick with us. Thanks for listening, guys. Also, you got anything else?
No, just a huge thanks to Spencer. Like you said, we've had some issues, and Spencer's been I don't know how to send an email. So
yeah.
Spencer's done all the work, so huge props to him. Make sure y'all tell him good job in the comments. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, sounds good. See y'all.
Country tunes playing on the radio, and I know that I'm there. Oh Lord, I know I'm there. It's been a long time gone since the truth's been